Good morning, Coleman, and thank you for tuning in to Cullman Today. I'm your host, Dustin Isom, and today is Wednesday, November 6th. Coming up on Cullman Today, the presidential race tightens as Donald Trump leads Kamala Harris 267 to 224 in electoral votes. Cullman County voters reject the proposed medical marijuana tax, and thousands gather to honor veterans at the Cullman County Veterans Day celebration. All this plus sports, weather, and more, but for now, let's dive into the top stories happening in Cullman today. The 2024 presidential election remains undecided as early as this morning, as former President Donald Trump holds a lead with 267 electoral votes, while Vice President Kamala Harris has secured 224. Key battleground states are still counting ballots, and the nation's attention is fixed on the results to determine who will occupy the White House. Trump has been barnstorming across the country, gaining unexpected support in several traditionally blue states, which has contributed to his current lead. With the Electoral College threshold set at 270 votes to win the presidency, both candidates are eagerly awaiting the final counts from the remaining states. In addition, the Republican Party regained control of the U.S. Senate after multiple victories in battleground states. More detailed election results and analysis will be available later today. Stay tuned for updates as we continue to cover this developing story. Cullman County voters have rejected Local Amendment 1, which proposed a 15% tax on medical marijuana sales. The additional tax was intended to benefit the Cullman County District Attorney's Office, with a portion allocated to local mental health services. With 49 of 51 boxes reported, the vote was close, with 51.53% voting no, while 48.47% voted yes. Cullman County District Attorney Champ Crocker addressed the outcome on the DA's Facebook page late Tuesday night, saying, "I was legally prohibited from taking a public position on this tax vote, but I appreciate the arguments on both sides. It was important for the people to decide this issue. My staff and I will continue to work for the people of this county, clearing the backlog and seeking justice in court for crime victims." Joey Robertson, owner of Wagon Trail MedServe, expressed his approval of the vote, saying, "This is a win for the patients of Cullman and surrounding counties. Having a new tool at an affordable price will make a positive difference in so many lives. Thank you, Cullman County, for such positive support and knocking down this amendment." The Cullman Tribune will be reaching out to District Attorney Crocker to learn how his office plans to ensure efficient operations without the additional funding. More details on this vote will be available tomorrow. In other news, despite overcast skies and canceled flight shows, more than 4,000 people came together on Saturday, November 2nd, at Cullman Regional Airport to honor local veterans. The Cullman County Veterans Day celebration was a free event, offering veterans and their spouses complimentary coffee, donuts, and a special lunch provided by the Cullman Elks Lodge. Retired Colonel Ken Brown, representative for the Cullman Elks Veterans Committee, expressed gratitude for the community's support. He said, "We are very thankful that we live in such a patriotic community. We have over 7,000 veterans and their families that live here. This event is designed every year to get people to come out and honor their veterans and thank them." Attendees enjoyed military displays, including an F-4 Phantom jet and a P-40 aircraft flown by Tuskegee Airmen. World War II reenactors and members of the Cullman Historical Society shared stories immersing visitors in the legacy of veterans across generations. A classic car show featured 1930s and 1940s vehicles, and families had the chance to suit up in military gear and explore an interactive Huey helicopter display. Colonel Brown thanked State Senator Garland Gudger and local committees for their support, saying, "It's a real community effort to put this on, so we don't want to have to charge anyone to come out and honor their veterans." Organizers aim to build on this year's success and make the celebration an annual highlight for Cullman and all of northern Alabama. For more information on future events, visit CullmanVeteransDay.com. Meanwhile, the Wallace State School of Nursing is hosting the Let's Pretend Hospital program through November 7th for first graders across Cullman County. Here's our own Jen Baker with more.
Wallace State Community College's Department of Nursing Education is hosting its Let's Pretend Hospital for first graders in Cullman County. On November 5th, 6th, and 7th, the School of Nursing will welcome 1,000 first graders from all Cullman County, Cullman City schools, as well as several private schools.
When the first graders come in each room, the students will be teaching them things about each kind of hospital room. One thing might be the patient room. So we invite one of the first graders to be a patient, and they do a little pretend assessment on them, just showing them what a nurse or a physician might do. Another thing is the OR. So we have a first grader volunteer also to be, it's an operation style room. So we pretend like we're pulling things out of them from the operating room. Another station is the emergency room, just teaching them that it's not scary. We have x-ray room, we have fire safety, helmet safety, and also we've added a new room this year, which is exercise. So we want students to know that exercise can be fun. So they teach them some ways that exercise can be fun.
School groups will spend an hour and a half going through each room. Rotating groups will start sessions at 8:45 a.m., 10:15, and 12 each day. All nursing students and faculty, around 500 of them, will be participating throughout the 3-day event. In Hanksville, I'm Jen Baker with the Cullman Tribune.
That's it for today's top stories. Stay with us because after the break, we'll dive into the world of sports.
What's in the magazine? October's peeking in. Oktoberfest in Cullman, let the fun begin. Heroes in our town, business all around, recipes for sharing, joy everywhere found. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears, community so bright, polka through the night. Sports spotlight today, kids come out to play. Fields and courts are buzzing in the autumn sway. Germans came to stay, crafts and brews on display. Cullman's heart is glowing in the polka way. Colonel Cullman cheers, history in our ears, community so bright, polka through the night.
Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to find out what's going on in the world of sports. Let's lead off today's sports segment with the latest on Wallace State's athletic programs. Wallace State's volleyball team finished runner-up at this year's ACC Volleyball Championship, held this weekend at Sand Mountain Park and Amphitheater in Albertville. Wallace won its first round matchup over Bishop State 3-0 on Friday, before falling to Enterprise State 3-0 in the next round. The Lions fought back the next day, defeating Calhoun, Snead State, and Lurleen B. Wallace to make it to the championship round on Sunday, setting up a rematch against Enterprise State. Enterprise State won the first two sets, 25-23 and 25-17, before the Lions rallied to win the third set, 25-21. The fourth set ended with the Boll Weevils on top, 25-23, and the ACCC title. Wallace State players Chloe Jackson, Rachel Mecklenburg, and Abby McDonald were named to the ACC All-Tournament team. Jackson had 51 kills, 7 aces, and 20 digs. Mecklenburg finished with 31 kills, 6 aces, and 49 digs, and McDonald posted 97 digs and 2 aces. The Lions finished the season with an overall record of 37-11 and a conference record of 11-3. Head coach Randy Daniels' overall record stands at a historic 670-138, making him the winningest coach in the ACCC. Moving over to cross country, Wallace State's men's and women's teams are ranked 3rd and 7th respectively, heading into this weekend's NJCAA Division II Championships in Richmond, Virginia. Both teams successfully defended their titles at the ACC Championships held recently at John Hunt Park in Huntsville, each winning their 7th consecutive conference titles. Tony Kreider, in his first year as head coach of both teams, was named the Men's Cross Country Coach of the Year. The men have been led by the ACC Men's Runner of the Year, Luke Kennedy. The sophomore has been the first team finisher in 5 of 6 races the Lions have completed in this season. The women have been led by Reagan Paris and Grace Gosling. Paris has been the first team finisher in half of the Lions meets this season. Following their national tournament appearances, the Lions will compete in their first indoor races on December 6th at the Birmingham Indoor Icebreaker at the Birmingham Crossplex. That covers sports for today, but make sure to check with the Cullman Tribune each day for the latest in sports coverage across the area. We'll be back right after this message. Hello and welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Do you enjoy Legos, crafting, or even dinosaur tea parties? Well, you're in luck. The main branch of the Cullman County Public Library system is hosting a variety of fun events this month. Kicking off with National STEAM Week from November 4th to the 8th, the library offers daily programs for kids focused in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Assistant Library Director Shelby Creekmore said, "We will have a massive program every day of the week, Monday through Friday, in order for kids to attend and do scavenger hunts, building projects, and craft projects in honor of STEAM Week." On Wednesday, November 13th at 1 p.m., join Crafternoon, a free crafting event for all ages held every second Wednesday of the month. Book lovers can attend the book club meeting on Thursday, November 14th at the Cullman City Hall Auditorium. Don't miss the T-Rex Tea Party on Saturday, November 16th at 10 a.m., featuring a tea party and a guest T-Rex in costume, along with dinosaur-related activities like bone excavations. Teens aged 13 to 18 are invited to Teen Tuesday on November 26th at 3:30 p.m. and every fourth Tuesday of the month, featuring games, snacks, and crafts. For more details on these events, visit the Cullman County Public Library Facebook page. As cooler temperatures arrive, Alabama residents are starting to see the vibrant fall colors across the state. The change is not just in the weather, but also in the landscape, as trees begin their seasonal transformation. Mallory Kelly, a regional agent with the Alabama Cooperative Extension System, explains that the shift in leaf color is driven by the genetic makeup of the plant and environmental conditions. She said, "Leaves are made of living plant cells, and these cells typically appear green because of the pigment chlorophyll. As daylight hours shorten in the fall, trees receive less sunlight for photosynthesis, causing chlorophyll to break down. This reveals other colors in the leaves, such as yellow, orange, red, and purple. Despite recent drought conditions and a hot summer, there's still time for good fall color in Alabama. The northern regions of the state will see the colors first due to lower temperatures. Warm, sunny days followed by cool nights, especially temperatures below 45 degrees, enhance the brightness of fall leaves." Kelly says, "The warm, sunny days with cool night temperatures are exactly what we need for the bright and red-orange color development in our leaves." Some tree species, like the hickory and ginkgo, only produce yellow and brown hues. Others, such as maples, Bradford pears, Chinese elms, and Chinese tallow trees, can produce a variety of colors, given the right conditions. For more information on fall leaves and plant care, visit the Alabama Extension website at aces.edu. Alabama Power is partnering with the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources to repurpose decommissioned concrete poles and tower segments into artificial reefs off the Alabama coast. On September 19th, these materials were deployed into the Christopher M. Blankenship Reef Zone, which spans 65 miles in the Gulf of Mexico. The concrete poles are arranged in a crisscross pattern, resembling the game pickup sticks, creating unique habitats for marine life. Craig Newton, ADCNR's Artificial Reef Coordinator, said, "This power pole configuration and the transmission tower sections will provide this unique habitat for the gray snapper to thrive in." In addition to the poles, a decommissioned tugboat named the William Lee was donated by Hooks Towing and deployed with funding from Alabama Power. The efforts aim to enhance Alabama's offshore fisheries while promoting environmental sustainability by reusing materials. Commissioner Christopher Blankenship expressed appreciation for the collaboration, stating, "I look forward to many future projects." Governor Kay Ivey permitted the reef zone in 2021, underscoring the state's commitment to marine conservation. For more information on Alabama's Artificial Reef Program, visit outdooralabama.com. 18 students at Freed-Hardeman University in Henderson, Tennessee, have been chosen by their peers to represent the school on the 2024 homecoming court. Among them is Reagan Malone, a sport administration major from Arab, Alabama. The representatives will be recognized during a chapel presentation on Thursday, November 7th at 10:30 a.m. Later in the week, 2 seniors will be crowned homecoming king and queen during a coronation ceremony on Saturday, November 9th at 4:30 p.m. on Smith Kirk Court at the Brewer Sports Center. Chris Ramey, FHU's Director of Alumni Engagement, said, "We are so proud of these individuals who have been chosen by their peers to represent both their classes and FHU on this year's homecoming court. Each of them is an example of the positive character, integrity, and servant leadership that makes the Freed-Hardeman community so special." That's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Welcome back. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Lawton R. Miller, 84 of Falkville, passed away on Saturday, November 2nd. A memorial service will be held at the Cullman Funeral Home on Sunday, November 10th at 2 p.m. Patricia Faye Evans, 69 of Hansville, passed away on Monday, November 4th at her residence. Funeral service for Mrs. Evans will be at 2 p.m. on Thursday, November 7th at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home, with burial at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home Cemetery. Visitation will be from 5 until 7 p.m. on Wednesday, November 6th at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home. Belinda Miller, 59 of Cullman, passed away Monday, November 4th at her residence. Funeral service for Mrs. Miller will be at 2 p.m. on Friday, November 8th at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home, with burial at Holly Pond. Visitation will be from noon until 2 p.m. on Friday, November 8th at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home. That finishes up obituaries for today. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now, let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today, keep an eye out for a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly between 2 and 4 p.m. It's going to be mostly cloudy with a high near 78. Tonight, there's a 30% chance we'll see more showers and thunderstorms before midnight, and then some showers into the early morning hours. Expect mostly cloudy skies with a low of around 64. Tomorrow, we've got just a slight 20% chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. It'll stay mostly cloudy with a high near 76. Tomorrow night, there's a 20% chance of showers after midnight, and skies will remain mostly cloudy with a low of around 63. That concludes another edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. But for now, I'm Dustin Isom with Cullman Today, wishing you a great Wednesday, Cullman.